Hey guys, how we doing today?
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
Okay, so you guys asked for it. This is a two-part episode.
Right.
So we're gonna do the same thing we did a couple weeks back with the Mad Men premiere. Two today, but we will not be doing West Wing next week.
We have very tight schedules and we can
Yes.
do this stuff. This is for our Patreon subscribers. They want us to get both of these in, which is totally fine.
Yep.
We're just going to have to shuffle some things around.
Yeah.
Schedule wise to make that happen, but we're happy to do it. But again, next week when there's not a West Wing,
That's why. Yeah.
We're not forgetting and we're not taking a hiatus.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to use that time for something else.
Because we like to do this weekly.
Right.
But like you said, this aired as a 2-hour premiere, and we do want to consume this content as it came out. So you guys watch this as a 2-hour premiere when it first aired. We're gonna do it.
Right.
And
Now
we're excited for it too.
Now on YouTube, that's not going to be the case.
Yep,
You're going to get one a week. So
Yep.
this is just for the people who pay on Patreon to watch. On YouTube, it's free. You get one a week.
Yeah. If it's any incentive to hit our Patreon page,
Exactly. We still stay ahead over there and everything. We followed up on a very, very good season finale, one of the best episodes of the show last week. We lost Mark Harmon's character. We wrapped up a lot of storylines. It was tonally really good because it seemed lighter for most of the episode until it wasn't, which is just great writing and execution by Aaron Sorkin and the directors and the cast.
I thought it was fantastic. It was just so artistically well done too.
I feel like the great James Brolin, crime boy, I don't know, is a line that's going to live with me forever whenever I hear a politician I think you hear that and you think about, why can't we inject disinfectant to kill the coronavirus in our bodies? Or I heard that windmills cause cancer.
It's interesting because everybody obviously loves this episode.
Sure.
The last episode we just watched. A few folks had some issues with the portrayal of Richie. And they thought he was too dumb or too much of a caricature of politicians at this time in real life.
Oh, he was 100% a caricature of George W. Bush.
I think it works.
100%. Yeah.
I think that's kind of the intent because they spent the whole season basically really setting up this guy to be, lesser than Bartlett. And I think that Sorkin really wanted to say something with this character. I think he wanted to be like, you think this is over the top? No. Turn on CNN.
Well, yeah. Well, the takeaway from that, because we saw Richie for like 3 or 4 minutes, maybe, right?
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
And we just got a flavor of him.
Sure.
And it was just Richie and Bartlett together, and Bartlett's a genius. So when those two are going to sit and talk, there is not going to be equal footing, right? Intellectually, there's just not.
No.
And they were talking about serious issues, including their debates moving forward. So they were more confronting each other.
Sure.
And I kind of feel like when we get into season 4 and into the campaign, we're going to see better sides of Richie when he's actually presenting himself to the public versus in a one-on-one conversation with the guys running against that he clearly viscerally does not like.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're different people when we're standing in front of somebody we can't stand.
Yeah.
And we say different things.
Yeah.
Than when we're trying to give a speech in front of a class or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a better, more put together, calculated Richie as far as a public persona that's going to be less obvious. Yeah. I felt like when he was running and when he was giving speeches, George W. Bush came across a lot better than when he freelance spoke. You know what I mean? Because there's a difference, right?
There's a huge difference.
Then when he tried to go off book and use witticisms and stuff, he tripped over himself, right?
Yeah.
There's an old saying in Texas: "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me.
Fool me, can't get fooled again.
Can't get fooled again." Yeah. I mean, I know that sounds dumb, but it really happened.
It did. Yeah, it's in a song.
Right? Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. They put it in a song.
But that was George W. Bush not letting his mind kind of wander, and some people, and that's not necessarily always a smart or dumb thing. Some people, when they're just their minds kind of wander, will trip and say dumb things. You know what I mean? When they're not really focused on what they're saying or doing.
And some credit, look, I get it. You're traveling constantly. You have a million things in your mind. So in that situation, in that position, just stick to the script.
Stick to the script, right?
Unless you're a freaking genius, stick to that script, man.
Yeah,
Bartlett can do it.
The amount of sleep that an incumbent president gets while he's campaigning and running the country is almost nothing.
That's what.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't get to sleep free.
Why risk it then?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
live
Right.
TV.
Yeah. Not a lot of them do a whole lot of like interviews. Right.
Yeah.
Like let's just do a press conference right now.
Yeah.
Hit me with anything. I'll be fine. It doesn't work. What was the guy's name that? Johnson, Gary Johnson, when he was running for president as an independent. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think about that.
And they asked him about Aleppo. And he's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "It's the capital where the Syrian war is happening." And his response was, "Well, how many of you out there know about Aleppo?" Well, a lot of people didn't, but they weren't running for president, where you should know.
I know.
If my doctor said, "How many of you know how to treat a staph infection?" I might say, "I have no idea," but I'm not the freaking doctor who needs to know.
I know, right? It is kind of maddening sometimes when you really break it
really
down
is,
to what it really is. So yeah, I mean, like we're in an interesting spot right now. I wonder if he's going to show up in this episode, or
I think he's full board in. I think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think we're there. Well,
because we just got a little taste. A little taste.
Right. I think
kind of feels like they're saving him.
I think he has to. Now that we're actually campaigning, we have to see him. But yeah, I think as far as like if Britain is too dumb, yeah. But I also feel like you had a short amount of time, and you wanted to create a feeling about Richie, and we did, right? We know how we feel about Richie after that short interaction.
I know for a fact on Patreon somebody told us that the debates are coming soon.
Okay, good.
So we don't have to wait that long for a debate. So I'm looking forward to that.
I am too.
So it could be this next episode that we're going to watch after this one, or it could be a couple weeks from now.
Sure.
So
right, we do want to go ahead and welcome Wales 28, Eric Guerrero, and Maria Barreto Passos. Oh, Barreto, sorry. My R with I can ask. But Maria Barreto Passos to our Patreon page. Thanks, guys. We're very glad you're here with us.
We really are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you mind the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
Yeah, if you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. You will find us over on Patreon at least 4 episodes ahead of everything that's on YouTube. So by the time on YouTube see this, we are at least 4 or 5, I think actually 5 episodes ahead on the West Wing over there. If you want to jump over there and check it out,
yes. You
will need to sync and watch along on your own device or streaming service. You're only going to see and hear us for copyright purposes. We're also watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive. And once again, we'll have a brief wrap up at the end of this episode of what we see here.
Yeah.
And we'll jump for Patreon right back into the second part of it.
We'll do a small one.
Absolutely.
I'll get them from the soybean fields.
This isn't a time for people whose doomsday scenario is a little less at the pump for Texaco and Shell.
The president has his blood pressure taken every morning. On higher blood pressure days, Toby's not allowed to be in the president's sightline while he's...
Look.
What do I
That's
say
Amy
to
Adams.
people
It is Amy
who
Adams,
ask
isn't it?
Why we subsidize farmers when we don't
So that's the other daughter,
farmers?
No, that's not Bartlett's daughter. That's the farmer's daughter.
Oh, I thought that was Bartlett's other daughter. For some reason,
Yeah,
I thought that was their land. Okay, yeah.
I think we better head back.
He's wrapping up. You seem pissed that I brought it up.
No, we're just
It's a great shot.
Yeah,
We really gotta go now. Write off Indiana, but don't write off the small farmer. It's getting bad out here. It is bad out here.
We paid farmers $67 billion over the last 3 years. Where is it? Where's the motorcade?
They get left.
They got left.
Yeah.
Wow.
So do we follow the president at all, or are we just going to follow Josh and Toby today and Donna?
I mean, the first half of the episode could just be them there.
Oh, yeah.
Call campaign scheduling in advance.
It's probably.
Unless you're already
Yeah.
talking to campaign scheduling in advance.
Thank you. There's no trailer car today.
Really?
Yeah. We'll take you.
Really?
Yeah, give me a chance to show you the soy diesel car.
Okay, this car, it can...
It's a regular car.
You heard the speech, right?
Oh, yes.
The section on HMOs that he landed?
I thought he was very good.
The muddy hole joke is...
Tommy,
She's just a regular person, man.
Yeah.
Treasurer of the United States deals with the color of money. What's the meeting about?
Color currency.
Pushing?
What did you have?
I had half a grapefruit. Really? I think I'm lying.
I'm lying.
Okay.
Enjoy that 70 calories.
That's what I'm saying.
Could somebody get me half a grapefruit? I got Jack LaLanne working for me this week.
Well, a month ago, they reopened the investigation into Sharif's missing plane.
They find anything?
I don't know, but the emergency locator transmitter never went off.
Yeah.
So.
You haven't had a day off since the convention. You've been up the past 2 nights, and I don't want a zombie.
Right.
The energy book is done. The Midwest poll is out.
It's interesting how they're doing this.
Yeah. It's like following the presidential schedule for the campaign.
Yeah.
To let you know that it's no joke.
pay raises, military
It's
housing,
against the law to
outpatient clinics.
campaign on a military base.
Yes, technically.
No, legally.
Sir,
And that's when their wives are told. I don't want to screw around with that.
I didn't realize they were division ready.
Yeah.
Think about the lovely Kathy, farmer's daughter with a master's degree, wholesome, but maybe not too
Oh
wholesome.
my God, Josh.
How do you know Kathy?
She's my girlfriend.
Is that corn?
But not
out there?
too wholesome.
Out there? Yeah.
Nope.
What is it?
Trees.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna meet with Fitzwallace for a minute.
About what?
Nothing. Kumar's reopened the investigation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen. Yeah.
You sure we're not taking you away from something you need to be doing?
No, actually, this is on the way to my job.
Are we out of gas?
Diesel.
Are we out of it? We run out of gas because I said she was wholesome, but not too wholesome.
I can't make a car run out of gas.
We'll hitch back to the farm and pick some up.
Somebody's gonna pick you up out here.
Different part of the world.
yeah.
Didn't vote for him the first time. Don't plan to the second time.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I could tell that Toby's
fun.
he's there.
Yeah.
He's getting there.
Josh is in there roughing it. They're on the side of the road.
I know.
We're roughing it.
We did a legitimate SAR with the UK and Royal Kamari Guard. This was a plane that went down in the Bermuda Triangle.
Is there a chance you're gonna find the plane?
We dismantled the ELT, left the plane in 27 pieces, scattered among other wrecks. I don't know what would happen to you and me, but I'm pretty sure the president would be invited to see the inside of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
We've got a new addition to our running list of things Robert Ritchie's not. Speaking this morning at the Philadelphia Financial Council, the governor said, "I'm no scientist, so for the week you can add scientist to doctor, mind reader, and Chinese."
This is Meredith Walker.
Come on in. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, Mr. President.
Were you impressed by the plane?
It's an airplane, sir. I'm not very easily impressed.
For instance, we have our own 747, and it's flown by an Air Force general.
Yes.
This is a really lame conversation.
Okay.
I've been calling. I can't get anyone on their cell. They're in a bad calling area.
Keep trying.
Morning bottles of soda. It was
Nice.
really cool.
First guy to miss? The rest of the day.
I don't know if I could picture him without a beard.
Right.
First guy to miss. Anytime he says his name, he's got to follow it with, "I work at the White House."
That would be so obnoxious. Jurassic Park 2, we saw him without his beard.
What was your problem? You know what, Toby, I don't want this to be a high blood pressure day for me either.
There it is. Toby's got to say, I work at the White House.
Toby's
Everybody
English.
all day. Yeah.
I work at the White House.
Toby's got to brag about himself to everybody.
Sustainable growth in Michigan, new economy in Ohio, information technology in Pennsylvania. That's what you talk about in September. When did we decide to make this about being the smartest kid in the class? What meeting did I miss?
I have to pull over for a minute. You don't return phone calls anymore.
Oh, I returned some.
Thanks a lot.
This is so awkward.
You know, we have to get back to school.
We changed time zones? We changed time time
Yeah,
zones?
sorry, yeah.
It's a common mistake.
That's right.
This is a whole new thing now. My guys are going to need to walk this off a little bit.
So they missed the
Before
plane.
they can
Yeah.
grab Kiki. Couple more minutes.
Simon was a big brother to a kid named Anthony Marcus.
I met him a couple of times.
I've been trying to spend a little time with him. He's not wild about me.
I just don't think I'm the right guy for the job. CJ?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Someone's going to yell.
It's a great fit.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah.
Sam, I need you to staff the president. He's got one of those days.
I don't know what it is you do in there. There are going to be any number of areas in which I can't give him expert advice.
Welcome to the club, partner. We got jackets.
Never loved
yeah.
so much it hurts. Like physically hurts.
That's unusual, isn't it?
What's that?
A man of your intellect not being good with names and numbers, especially an economist of your stature.
It's not intellect, it's memory.
We've held or made slight gains in almost all the polls. ABC, Washington Post, Bartlett 50,
There
Ritchie
you go.
44. Elections in 6 weeks, Mr.
We are
President.
right up there.
There,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
creating a lot this time.
Well, one day I'll buy you a beer, you'll tell us all how you did it.
Thank you, sir.
Yesterday, the First Lady appeared on KCAL, which is a local LA station. She was asked about the suspension of her medical license, and she said something like, "I'm just a wife and a mother."
The biggest nonsense issue in the campaign will belong to the women. Does Abby Bartlett love her children?
Option one is we make a joke out of it.
we make a joke out of it. What would we have to do to it to make a joke?
Yeah, the rolling pins took care of that.
They know where Josh is.
Option 2 is you say what she really meant was these are the only things I'm doing right now because I'm not a doctor anymore. She wasn't slamming wives and mothers.
No.
Obviously.
What would you like?
What's good?
Everything.
What's your specialty?
Taking someone's order and giving it to me.
We'll take 4 cheeseburgers.
The dry rub is good.
Dry rub?
Yeah.
A few days ago, someone told me that a girl shot up her school one morning, and when they asked her why, she said, "I don't like Mondays." And that's where the song comes from.
CJ, it's me. Did you happen to notice that we weren't on the plane?
You weren't on the plane? I love dry rub. They take
The principle of fairness.
Well, in international law, there's a principle called differentiated responsibilities. We're the ones making the greenhouse gas.
You think when your folks got you out in '74, they imagined they were taking you to a place that'd be willing to make you a congressman?
As a matter of fact, sir, I think that's exactly what they imagined.
Me too. You have a bigger symbolic responsibility than that.
Yes, sir. It's my district, my country, and the Congress of the United States.
Yeah.
Welcome, my friend, to the show that never ends.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Isn't that a hell of a thing? What's
It really
next?
is.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, so it didn't get heavy, but I guess we're just at the end of one part.
If this is like a continuous story, then we'll see
Absolutely.
what happens. All right. Well, we won't spend too much time on this, just because I feel like this definitely does feel like the first half of something. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. The first run. But I do think you're right. I think we're heading for something, and probably a revelation that I would guess that Sam is going to have.
Sure.
About the president and his job.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And the trio that's lost in Indiana. Something probably profound that they're going to come to as well.
Yeah.
Would be a guess.
It has to be, right? Because there's something about that scene in the diner where Toby's just kind of having. He's thinking about something, you know what I mean? He's having some kind of revelation.
Well, he and Josh are. There's like an unspoken conflict,
Yes.
right, about the way they're campaigning.
Yes.
That I think we're going to get into.
Yeah. No, I hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like we definitely will. I mean, Sorkin, obviously a master, and I like the idea of this just being like a super long episode. I see why you guys wanted us to watch both parts in one sitting, because this does feel unresolved. And I am excited to hop into it because I do want to see what they're getting at here.
Right. This aired is a 1 2-hour episode.
Yep.
Because that really did feel like an abrupt cut off there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was it was a fun episode. I like the conceit of it. As far as what they're setting up.
I love the Toby Ziegler over at the White House.
Yeah, I get to be obnoxious. Yeah. The campaign is kind of an interesting setup here in the way that we're only seeing one side of it. I really did expect to see more of Richie. We hear about it, and not even necessarily him, but the campaign, right?
Sure.
We saw some of the dirty tricks, like with the tape that Sam had and everything, early on, but we're not seeing much of the Republican campaign at all, even in terms of its arguments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which we could. They said debates are coming,
Right,
so I'm assuming
right.
it's not going to be this episode, but
soon, sure.
However, you know what's interesting? They said the election's in 6 weeks. We're going to see election night for sure this season.
Oh, no, yeah, early in the season too.
And we're going to see him into a second term as well.
Right.
probably,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
There's no way the show's going to end after 6 weeks, you know?
No. We're going to have 20 something
So
episodes.
I wonder what the conflict is going to be. Is it going to be Kumar?
Yeah. Well, one, definitely Kumar is not over, right? I feel like there's some backlash coming with Abby. She's, I agree that her statement was taken out of context. I also feel like it was probably a bit of resentment there in her saying it. Right now, all I am is doing this because I can't do the thing that I trained forever to do,
which sucks.
It does suck, and I think that's going to be an issue going forward that's discussed with her.
But she gets it. We have that great episode in season 3, one of my favorite episodes with Donna, Amy.
Oh, right, where they're drinking, and,
Yes.
and Donna's the one who's like, you did something wrong.
Yes, that was a great revelation on her part.
It was.
To kind of, make that decision for herself. So I get why she has some resentment, but at the same time, she knows why. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's the right thing to do.
I mean, she's the one who volunteered to give up her license for the entire presidency of her husband, which it looks like it's going to be 5 years.
I
5 more years, right?
Which you signed up for that.
Yeah, no,
You can't do whatever you want. Your intentions were good, and
yeah, she was.
you just have to own it.
Yeah, and I think she has. I mean, it was her idea to go ahead. It was her idea to give up the license for that long.
I wonder if we see her in the second half of this episode. I really hope we do. I love her. I love her character. Sasha Channing is amazing.
Well, it's kind of like Richie here, in that we have these shadow characters that we're discussing.
Yes.
And I don't know what that's going to look like as far as like their presence when they're actually there, and how much we're going to see of them. But I expect to see a good, at least for the next several episodes, I expect to see some of Richie, and I expect to see an awful lot of Abby this season.
Yeah,
I really do, because Abby's kind of had her wings clipped a little bit, and I think that she's a smart character.
Yeah,
a well written character. She's a force as an actress.
Sure.
I kind of expect her to be a big presence in this fourth season.
I'm assuming we didn't see a lot of her in the last season because she had that injury.
Right.
In real life, I think she did actually break her leg. So.
Yeah, she was bound up. Yeah,
you get it.
Right. All right, guys. Not a whole lot more to say. It's nice to see Amy Adams in a small role. Before they were famous.
Love Amy Adams.
Oh, I do too. I mean, she's won an Oscar.
Oh yeah. Not yet.
I thought she won for. Oh no, she lost. What was it? American
Hustle.
American Hustle. She was nominated but didn't win.
Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence.
Lawrence beat her in the same movie.
Supporting. She was lead. Lawrence was supporting. Lawrence.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. But she's been nominated like 7 times. So
yeah, she'll get hers
eventually.
Right. We'll catch you in just a minute, guys.